Hey miners, Mining King here. Today we're going to be going over what you need to do when you get your first server. But before we get into that, here's a word from our sponsor.
Fluxpools.net would like to announce a new weekly lottery for loyal miners that support their project. As you might already know, Fluxpools is operated by the people from the Flux team as they want to provide a safe and transparent mining experience. While the Flux project does not take directly from the pool, they do give a portion of the fees back to the Flux project because they understand that both the project and the miners are what makes this pool possible. Flux Pools has given away nearly 5,000 Flux a month back to miners. The new Flux lottery gives 5 lucky winners $50 each in Flux each week when you have a 95% uptime on your rig. There will also be a bi-weekly winner who maintains 99.5% uptime. That winner will receive 1.7 kilosouls of hash rate for 48 hours to their wallet. Flux Pools has also announced a 0% mining fee and 1% parallel asset fee forever. This on top of the weekly loyalty program. You can also earn up to 3 Flux per week. That giveaway prize will be sent directly to the mining address and nowhere else. Furthermore, Fluxpools.net has just launched a Neoxa pool with a miner loyalty program where you can earn up to 1,000 Neoxa for up to 1 gigahash each week with 0% mining fee for the first 30 days. Please do not mine directly to an exchange as your rewards may be lost as a result. Come see why Fluxpools.net is a great place to mine.
Alright guys, sorry about the noise. I got my Octominers up here again, but in today's video, I had recently just moved all of my nodes away from my Xeon server over to my Unraid server, so this thing is 100% empty. So let's go ahead and get this thing out of the rack. So this is, I got it pulled out here, and this server is on server rails, so that is a nice option to have where you could just pull your server in and out. Now, rails are expensive. They're about $100, so it's up to you whether or not you want to buy them. I mean, you could just set it up on a workstation or a desk, whatever you want. So let's go ahead and open this and pretend that this was our first time just getting the server and some things that we need to look for. So this is what you'll be greeted with if you buy this same server that I have. We'll take off this piece. This is just a plastic like airflow piece to, you know, direct the air over everything. So we're going to, it just comes right out. Really easy to work with. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is what I did, and you guys don't have to do this. It was my choice, but shipping right, things are getting bounced around, and I learned the hard way that this RAID controller came loose. All right, so, and that gave me a lot of problems. So the first thing that I like to do is unseat and reseat the RAID controller, which is very easy. Now I do notice on a couple of the units I bought that this clip gets broken right here. That this little clip gets broken, and then it can just come in and out. But if the clip is still here, you press on the clip. So once you get this out, because all you have to do is just push on that clip and then pull up on this side here, because this is just like, it just seats right here on this, you know, just like it would like on a power supply essentially. So you just put it right, just seat it right back inside where it was. Okay, just like that. And then all you're gonna do is line it up with the holes and then just push down firmly, and then you're gonna hear a click. Okay, now that we know that the RAID controller is in fact seated properly, this can now talk, goes from these backplane cables over here to your backplane, which then communicate with the drives that are actually in your server. Another thing you could do, I had trouble with one other server, was one of these pieces of memory actually came out. So I would just, you know, open these up and just get these out and just go through and just unseat and reseat all the memory chips. It's something really easy. It only takes like 5 minutes. Just open them up, push them back down, reseat them. It's just stuff like this that could come loose in shipping. It makes sure that you have these dummy ones in there Make sure that these are in the server as well. A few other things to note when you do get your server is depending, and this is going to be dependent upon how they had it configured before you bought it. Okay, so typically if you leave this lid off, you'll get an intrusion alert and the system won't boot properly, right? Because it's saying, hey, we have a problem, the lid's open, blah blah blah. You can disable those in the BIOS settings if you want to disable all the intrusion alerts, which is like, hey, one of your power supplies isn't plugged in. Even though these are not hot swappable, they're just redundant, so you only need one power supply. But it's something that you can disable in the BIOS. I did personally. I left it alone. I don't mind. I can just put the lid on. Not a big deal. So, what are some other things that you'll need to get this thing going? Well, besides the server itself, if you're going to have it in a rack, this particular one I bought did not come with rails, so you'll have to buy the Power Edge rails. They're $100. It's just the way it is. You can maybe find them used on eBay or something. If you want to wait for a couple of weeks, you can save a few bucks, but it's roughly $75 to $100 for a set of rails. The next thing you're going to need to buy, though, is going to be hard drive caddies. And the reason for that is these ones here, right, because you can see this one actually has a drive in it, right? They actually, so they actually come with these, which are just dummy ones, okay? These are the real ones that you use for drives. And be sure that you look on your listing if it's 2.5 inch or 3.5 inch. This model I bought is a 2.5 inch. So you have to use 2.5 inch spinning rust or, you know, SSDs. Because these are also just, again, another intrusion alert. So you would put this in if you don't have a drive, right? Because then it just says, hey, because if you leave this open, there's just going to be an error right here on the screen and says, hey, there's something wrong with drive bay number 2. So it's just going to give you an alert. The server that I bought, it all came with these. I had to buy all of these drive caddies. So just the caddies, which these don't come with hard drives, right? Like, you know, I bought this Intel one. So all of these caddies together were $60, plus you got to buy your drives. Okay, so we're at the back of my server rack. That's the one that I was just showing you, Kate. This is the one that's on. This is my Minecraft server. You can see here that there's a blue light flashing, and it has an Ethernet into it, right? I mean, honestly, I don't even need this thing anymore because, and these are your 4, this is your 4 NICs. Now this one right here on this side, you're like, huh, why is there a NIC way over here? Well, this is actually called the iDRAC, which lets you like remote in GUIs, but you have to have an iDRAC license. Now that server came with an iDRAC license. This one did not. It's kind of like a gamble. It depends who they got the servers from and if they had licenses or not. So something else that you're gonna need though, in order to be able to use like ESXi or something like that, you are going to need a VGA cable, which is what I got up there to this one that goes up to my monitor here. So, older servers, older technology. So that is something to consider, older technology right there. You're going to have a VGA monitor. This is like an old TV that has VGA that I use for this. So those are some of the things that you guys are going to have to consider when you're going down the server route. A few extra costs, you know, that you might incur. What are some downfalls to this? Well, one is going to be that this is older tech, right? But the pros is DDR3 memory is extremely cheap, as well as the processors for this are also going to be cheap to upgrade if you need to move up in cores. So I just want to do a little bit of a video of what you guys are going to need when you first start up, you know, getting a server. Make sure to read the descriptions of the ones you're buying. Do they come with caddies? Do they come with rails? All of these things. Is it SAS or SATA, or does it do both? Make sure you check your RAID controllers, because some RAID controllers only do SAS or SATA. And SAS is perfectly fine if that's up to you. I'll let you know that SAS SSDs are very expensive, and the SAS drives, the spinning drives, can be a little loud as they get to 10 to 15,000 RPMs. So it's kind of up to you. Make sure you do your research and make sure you know exactly what's going to be coming with your server. All right, guys, this is the Monty King giving you the most hashes, and I'll see you next time.